I, 22M, want break off things with girl, 20F, after she slept with someone else. What should I do? This girl, 20, and I, 22, have been dating for 3 months. Things went fast in the beginning. She was studying in my town for 2 months. After 2 months, I got a job in Michigan while she moved back to Colorado. We decided we would stop being a couple, but would still talk. Not even 2 days go by while visiting my grandparents. She was upset we weren't talking enough. She said if we're going to make this work, I need to communicate more and more substance. I was confused. BC, she did not want a long distance relationship. I listened to her and followed what she wanted. Over the next few weeks, we got into several arguments about communication and what our label was. I said we should just keep no label. BC having one would set an expectation for us and we'd get hurt if we didn't meet the expectation. She said that would be convenient for me if we did things day by day. BC, the next day I could sleep with someone. I said I had no interest in seeing anyone else. We decided in the end that we wouldn't seek out other relationships, but if we had a connection with someone, we'd end what we have for good. But our goal was to stick together until we were in the same place. Fast forward 2 weeks, she visits me in Michigan. We have an argument. I wasn't holding her hand enough at a concert. Things go well besides that. We tell each other we love one another. 4 days later, we have a long phone call. We argue over a little thing, but it's generally good. She tells me she's back to being friends with a guy she had slept with months prior. She forgave him for mistreating her. I said I didn't like that, but she said for what it's worth, he had a GF and she'd never pursue anything with him. It ends and she texts me, I miss you, and I say, miss you too. Not even 36 hours later, she texts me we need to talk. I call her and she tells me she slept with someone the night prior. I was stunned. She asked me how I felt. I said not good, and that due to our previous agreement, we should end things and stop talking. She was upset. She said we hadn't been talking much, and she didn't think I was into her as much as she was me. It was a lot of things that sounded like excuses for the behavior. She said we weren't an official couple, so she's allowed to sleep with other people. I said I thought we were on the same page, that relationship and sex are in the same category. She said they're not. It's okay for her to sleep with other people as long as she's not romantically involved with them or seeking a relationship. I said that didn't make me feel good and I would have to end things. She says she'd never have done it if she thought it meant losing me forever. I said I could only ever be friends with her, but that's a maybe. I said if I felt inclined, I would reach out again. We said goodbye. 2 hours later, she texted me asking to call. I said no, and then she said, well, I'm here for you if you need me. Do I stop texting her? Do I ignore? How do I move on? What should I do? Would love to hear your thoughts. TLDR, girl, 20F. I 22M, dated and is still seeing, slept with someone and wanted to keep talking. I broke things off, trying to figure out next steps. Update. Thank you to everyone for the help in this situation. It's been very hard and definitely a large grieving process, but I've stuck to the boundary I made and took everyone's advice not to keep things going in any way. I decided not to block, mainly because it's just not my sort of thing. She also might see this, totally forgot if she had my Reddit or not, LMAO. I will say a few things bother me about this situation. One is that she didn't reach out to apologize. I don't think she understands how bad she hurt me, but also I think it shows me the very type of person she is. And I think that was reflective in our convo where she told me she slept with someone else. All she did was blame me and feel regret over the outcome of things, not what she did. She's also a serial monogamist, so she'll probably bounce to another person in a week if she hasn't already. LOL. One thing that I do beat myself up about is the part where I asked for us not to have labels. I did this mainly in part BC when we first broke things off due to distance. She was upset we weren't talking, so I amped up things, but then she got upset that it felt long distance. I floated the idea of no labels. BC, I know how caught up she gets about labels. She fixates on them and doesn't like situationships. But I said if we loved each other, the labels shouldn't matter, we'd just be exclusive. But maybe it was wrong of me to do that, and I shouldn't be upset that she slept with someone else if we didn't have an official label anymore. So part of me keeps freaking out that I overreacted. She slept with someone else when I shouldn't be mad. IDK, this is just something I'm trying to move on from. One thing that's been resonating with me is hurt people, and I think that's what this is. She moved on to our relationship too fast after not processing her feelings from previous ones. Only 2 months had passed from her breaking off a 2-year relationship and then hooking up with her friend of a long time. I just don't think she processed her feelings, and all of her insecurities were coming out in our relationship. There was a lot of gaslighting, manipulation, and guilt tripping. I also think I was someone to pass the time for her when she was lonely, which is why she would get mad at me, spending time with my family while she was alone. But the second she went back to college, she stopped talking to me as much and then slept with someone else, going to the first person that gave her attention. This all sucks very much. I just want to say thanks again for all the love and support. I didn't think there would be that many people invested in this. LOL. Final update. I sent her one final text saying I was hurt by what she did. It was disrespectful and caused me much heartache. That being said, I hope she is well and wish her the best. She replied instantly with a long text saying she's doing really well and I'm valid but one. Weeks weren't BF Jaff and I didn't want the label. 2. She felt undervalued. 3. I got mad and lashed out. And 4. We won't see eye to eye on this. I blocked her on everything after reading that response. JFC, if you fuck up, just apologize. Don't kick me when I'm already down, LOL. Feel much better though after blocking. Thank you all.